What we just witnessed inside the Trackhouse Racing Garage, it didn't just shake up the 2026 season. It might have completely changed the future of one of NASCAR's most exciting drivers. And the wild part, that's only half the story. Because while one driver is watching his season unravel in real time, there's already a replacement conversation happening behind closed doors. And I'm talking real conversations, the kind that don't stay quiet for long. There are two major stories coming out of the Chastain situation right now. One happened on the track. The other, it's already brewing deep inside that garage. And trust me, both of them matter if you care about where this championship battle is heading. So, before we break it all down, if you're a real NASCAR fan who lives for this stuff every single week, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to NASCAR Dispatch. And if you love honest, passionate NASCAR talk from real fans, you're in the right place. Now let's talk about what just happened. News number 1. And this is the one that has people genuinely scratching their heads right now. Ross Chastain at COTA looked strong early, won Stage 1, had real pace. Trackhouse looked like a serious contender up front, and then everything fell apart. A loose wheel came completely off his car. Just like that, his race was over. NASCAR threw the caution. He was held for 2 laps. Penalties coming next week. That is not just bad luck. That is an execution failure. The kind that raises serious questions inside any organization. And here is the thing. This is not the first time this season. The mistakes are adding up. The incidents are adding up. And inside Trackhouse Racing, people are starting to ask real questions out loud. And I am telling you, this is not just fan talk anymore. When you look at where Chastain sits in the standings right now compared to where this team expected to be, the gap is real. The concern is real. Think about that for a second. Trackhouse Racing came into 2026 with massive expectations. 2 cars, 2 drivers, fighting for playoff position every single week. Right now, that picture looks very different from what anyone inside that organization hoped for. After the race, you could hear it in his voice. The frustration. The awareness that things are not clicking the way they need to. And honestly, that part hits different. Because here is what people forget about Ross Chastain. This is not a driver who was handed anything. This is a watermelon farmer from Alva, Florida, who scratched and clawed his way into the Cup Series the hard way, who spent years in underfunded rides just trying to prove he belonged, who made the Hail Melon move at Martinsville in 2022 because he had absolutely nothing to lose. That hunger, that desperation, that is who Ross Chastain is. Imagine carrying all of that, every sacrifice, every underfunded season, every door that almost didn't open, and now sitting inside one of NASCAR's most exciting teams, watching your seat come into question. That is not just a performance story. That is a human story. That is legacy on the line. As a fan, I will say this. That is genuinely one of the hardest things to watch in this sport. A guy who fought so hard to get here, now fighting just as hard to stay. Now, that's where news number 2 comes in. Because apparently not everyone inside that garage is just waiting patiently for things to turn around. According to sources close to the Trackhouse organization private, conversations about Chastain's future with the team are already happening. That performance reviews are being conducted earlier than normal this season. That ownership is closely watching whether this is a temporary rough patch or something that requires a much bigger decision. And the name being quietly mentioned in certain garage conversations? Shane Van Gisbergen. SVG is already at Trackhouse in the 88 car for road course events. He has proven his pace. He has proven his composure. And sources suggest there are people inside that organization who believe an expanded full-time role for SVG could be on the table if Chastain's situation doesn't stabilize soon. Now let me be completely clear. Trackhouse Racing has made zero official announcement. Ross Chastain has not been told anything publicly. NASCAR has not been notified of any driver change. There is nothing confirmed at any official level whatsoever. These are private garage conversations that leaked. Nothing more, nothing formal, nothing confirmed. But the mood inside that paddock right now? Insiders are saying it is tense in a way that feels different from normal mid-season pressure. And think about it, when a team of Trackhouse's caliber starts having these conversations this early, that tells you everything about how seriously they are taking what they are seeing week after week. Is this just frustration from people inside a team going through a rough patch? Or is there a genuine decision coming that could reshape the entire Trackhouse Racing operation before this season is halfway done? As a fan, I will say this. The talent is still there. The hunger is still there. But unless something changes and changes fast, this conversation is only going to get louder. What it does do, though, it cranks the pressure on Chastain up to another level entirely. This is no longer just about winning races. This is about proving he belongs in that seat. About proving the best of Ross Chastain is still ahead of him. And that kind of pressure, it does not go away quietly. And all of this is happening while Tyler Wright continues to run away with the early 2026 season. 3 wins, 3 races. Every other team in that garage looking at that gap and asking, what do we need to do differently? For Trackhouse Racing, that question might be getting answered in ways nobody expected when this season started. Bristol Motor Speedway is next, April 12th. After the Easter break, Bristol is Chastain's kind of track, short track, physical racing. This is where he answers every single question being asked about him right now. If this stays quiet, Chastain gets his chance to prove the doubters wrong. If it escalates, this becomes the biggest driver storyline of the entire 2026 season. Either way, the early 2026 season just became must-watch television every single week. And as fans, this is why we love it. The racing, the strategy, the drama, the rivalries. So what do you think? Is Ross Chastain's seat genuinely under threat, or does he deserve more time to turn this around? And is Shane Van Gisbergen the answer if Trackhouse does make a move? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you love passionate, honest NASCAR coverage like this, make sure you like the video and subscribe to NASCAR Dispatch. If you're the kind of fan who watches every lap, argues about strategy, and cares about this sport the way we do, you belong here. I'll see you in the next one.